Good morning and welcome to the MD 34 Lions Leadership Conference, and for the first time ever online, and so we are making history as we move forward. We've got clubs that are hosting watch parties and coming together to share this information, discuss it informally. We've got Lions that have logged in and continue to log in, and we've got an exciting morning planned for you this morning, August the 8th, as well as Saturday morning, August the 22nd. At this point in time, I'd like to call on our council chair, Bubba Bingham, for welcoming and opening comments.
Thank you, past International Director Jerome. It's my pleasure being with the group this morning. I'm truly excited about this year. I know there are great accomplishments that are just over the horizon. I want to welcome all of the Lions who are participating in this conference via the webinar. This is a new method of communicating, but it certainly seems to be a great one in this day and time. Thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Our multi-district organization is only as good as you want it to be. It's only as good as the weakest link in our multi-district Lions organization. This leadership conference is a result of many, many hours of study and preparation, and I trust each of you today will enjoy the benefits of years of experience and volumes of material provided by Lions Clubs International to make this conference a resounding success. You are what makes up the multi-district. You are the caretakers and the gatekeepers for those you serve. I might suggest that you have a paper and pen available just in case you want to make some notes. There will be a question and an ask question opportunity at the end of each session. But again, on behalf of the Lions of the Alabama Global Leadership Team and all of those who have helped put this conference together today, I want to thank you again. Thank you for your interest in joining us today. It's my pleasure to serve. We all serve, and I serve you. Please don't hesitate to contact me if I can do anything for any of the members of this Lions Club organization. Thank you, Past Director Jerome.
Council Chair Bingham, thank you very much for greeting, and we do appreciate your leadership and the quality of communication that you've brought to the table. Thank you so very much. Today, our moderator is past Council Chair Ron Seybold, and Ron is a household name to Lions of Alabama because he is Mr. Alabama Lion. He's a wealth of knowledge, has always provided great leadership to the state in everything that he has done. As you know, he was our Centennial Chair, and now he serves as our North American Membership Initiative Chair for Multiple District 34. And today he will be our moderator, and he will have 3 panel discussions. And these discussions are outlined in the North American Membership Initiative that every district has opted into. The first is we're going to talk about rejuvenating districts with new clubs, and he'll introduce the panel. We're going to rebuild clubs with new members, and he'll introduce the panel and discuss new members coming into clubs, and remotivating members with new service and fellowship, and talking about the service journey and things of that nature that will help us to remotivate our members, keep them involved, because we have become a little disjointed during the COVID. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today my friend, our friend, past Council Chair Ron Seybold.
Thank you, Lion Jerome. It's exciting to be here today. You know, I can sum up what I do real simple. I love what I do, and I do what I love. And that makes it all worthwhile. It's a labor of love for all of us that give all the hours that we give to serve our fellow man. But I'm really excited to be here today. We have excellent panels lined up for you today. And our first panel, when we talk about rejuvenating districts with new clubs, is with our district governors. Unfortunately, the district governor for 34A is not able to be with us today, but we do have District Governor Robert Thompson from 34B. He's been in Lions since 2007, and he's a member of the Prattville Lions Club. He's retired from the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency after a 38-year career, but he's just couldn't give it up. He now continues to work as a forensic investigator with the Autauga County Sheriff's Department. Lion Robert and his wife, Lion Tracy, have 2 adult children, 3 grandchildren, and 2 very spoiled chihuahuas that rule the household. Also, we have District Governor Pete Cruz from 34C. And Pete is a member of the Headland Lions Club. He's a graduate of Auburn University, but we won't hold that against him. And he is the airport manager for the Headland Municipal Airport. And he is also a commercial hot air balloon pilot and has flown over 800 hours in balloons. He is currently the president of the Headland Area Chamber of Commerce. He's the lay leader at Headland United Methodist Church. He and his wife, Lion Sylvia, have 2 adult children. So welcome, governors, and glad to have you with us today. Governor Robert, why do you think it's important to charter new clubs?
Well, thank you there, PCC Ron. Having new clubs, we can have new members to help serve the citizens that we love to serve. The more clubs, more members we can serve.
Governor Pete, you have anything you'd like to add to that about forming new clubs?
Yes, thank you, Past Council Chair Ron. In this day of the pandemic that we're all coming to grips with, it's affecting everybody's life a little bit more and more. And the things that we normally can afford are tough to afford now. People are losing jobs, and there's a greater need out there. Just buying a pair of eyeglasses, sometimes food can be a big issue for people that don't have jobs or have been furloughed in their homes. So there's a greater need. We need more lives to service those needs, and also we need more lives to continue our organization.
Very good. As people have chartered new clubs over the years, we've kind of come up with a plan for success, and we've come up with 10 basic steps. If you follow these steps, it just helps you in the process and will assure that you are successful in your efforts to charter a new club. And they go from number 1 of determining the area that you want to serve all the way through the basic steps until you get up to chartering the new club and then continue development and helping that club to be successful as you go along. Number 1, you need to determine the area of opportunity where you want to work. And you can look in your district and see towns that are of population enough to sustain a Lions Club. There's a lot of different things of thought out there. I have helped start a club when a town is as small as 1,000 population. A lot of people will say, well, you need 10,000 to start a club. So there's all different thoughts. We had a past district governor that was very successful in starting new clubs. Who is deceased now, but he said if there's a McDonald's, it's big enough for a Lions Club, because he'd always meet at McDonald's with his crew every morning, and they would get started. You want to see how close they would be to a existing Lions Club. Of course, we want to be sure to have coverage so we can provide service to the area, but we don't want to be just right on top of another club. And then you also want to take a look at how the community is engaged. Are there other service clubs that would be competition? Of course, we're all after the same thing, and that's serving our fellow man, but we want to see if there is enough population that could support 2 or more clubs. You want to engage. One of the first things you want to do in engaging is contact the local Chamber of Commerce or the mayor, the city council, and just get a feeling for the town and see if they would be interested in helping you form the Lions Club. You need to develop your team. Now, this is just the core group that's showing. Of course, your district governor, your first vice district governor is the liaison between the governor team and the membership team. Your global membership team coordinator definitely should be involved. It's wonderful if you can get the sponsoring club officers involved at the very beginning on soliciting to get the charter members as well as the guiding lions. That way they are beginning to form a relationship and a rapport with everyone from the very beginning, and that just makes the transition so much smoother once you have the club chartered, because the sponsoring club is going to work closely with the new club to get them going, inviting them maybe to participate in some of their service projects, attend their meetings so they can get a feel for how meetings are run. And then, of course, your guiding lion is assigned to a new club to be with them for 2 years. And so it's just wonderful when they can start at the very beginning when you're soliciting for the charter members. And before you go to work, what you need to do is do a little bit of homework on where you're wanting to form this club. You can go in and do a community needs assessment. There's an excellent new brochure out, a club and community needs assessment. And I mean, well, that's a new one for existing clubs, but there's a new club and community needs assessment that came out of the NAMI pilot program. And it's a wonderful piece of a tool to use to determine some community needs. You want to take a look at the demographics of the area, and there is an excellent resource you can use for that. It is www.city-data.com. It will tell you everything and anything you'd like to know about the community. It gives you the ethnicity breakdown. It gives you the types and number of schools. It gives you types and numbers of businesses. It gives you the average income. It will just tell you so much information that can be very, very valuable when you're going into the town. And you want to start building relationships in the town. We call that warming up to the community. Make an appointment to sit down with the mayor and tell them what the Lions Club can do for their community. The superintendent of education is a good one to build a relationship with, because Lions do so much work with youth, and explain to them how Lions can benefit their school. And other organizations that are around town, usually senior citizen centers, they're usually always looking for programs, and we've been successful in giving them a little program about Lions and just informing them of what we do. The fire chief, police chief are often spoken to. They know the needs of the community probably as well as anyone, and they can kind of guide you and lead you in the right direction. So those are the first 3 steps that we go through. I know I run through them very quickly, but we have a lot of information to cover today in this short hour. But if you would write this down, if you go to YouTube in the search block and just type in New Clubs 101, Pastor National Director Jerome and I were asked to do a membership webinar for Lions International. We did that a couple of years ago, but it goes into great depth on all of the things that you can do to make your recruiting efforts and your extension efforts to get a new club successful. So I invite you to take a look at that whenever you get a chance. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to District Governor Robert, and he's going to cover the next 3 steps.
Thank you, PID Thompson. Well, I'm going, excuse me, step 4 is promoting the new club. And then there'll be a step 5 is recruiting charter members. Step 6 will be to conduct the informational session. There's 3 objectives that I would like to for everyone to gain in this is the knowledge in promoting the new club. To gain knowledge and understanding on recruitment methods and tools needed to, excuse me, new club recruitment. And then to gain knowledge and understanding on conducting the informational meeting for the new club. In step 4, to promoting the new club. Getting the word out about the new club is important to the successful formation of a new club. There's 4 things you should consider in the recruitment plan. Who is potential members? Are you looking for business people, professionals, people who are passionate about service? Who is your target? Where do potential recruits go to learn more, and how can they contact you? You know, through email, social media, district websites, Facebook. Consider writing a press release you can distribute. When are you going to have your informational meeting? And maybe, you know, have an elevator speech that how to entice and get them interested in becoming a line. What would be your narrative? Continuing in step 4 is having a great elevator speech is imperative. It's called an elevator speech because it's short and sweet, typically the only time it takes between 2 floors. The speech should last 20 to 30 seconds, be interesting, memorable, and succinct. Step 1 of an elevator speech is determine your goals. Clarity and understanding are key. Step 2, explain your solution. How do lines serve? How do we make our communities better place to live? Step 3, explain what a difference you make. What is it that sets lines apart and makes us great? Step 4, close the deal. This is the hard part. Timing is crucial. Never push too hard or too long, but make sure they walk away with an application in their hands. 5, polish and practice. If you're not an expert, it's okay. Practice makes perfect, and you will get better with time. Just keep asking. Let me give you a little quick example of an elevator speech. Lines are men and women who make a difference every day, everywhere. With more than 1.4 million in over 200 countries. Lines aid the blind, visually impaired, assist youth, feed the hungry, address global epidemics like diabetes, answer the call when disaster strikes, and make strong commitment to filling other community needs throughout the world. While you're talking to potential recruits, you should give them the benefits of being a line. Lines make a difference. We serve with pride. Talk about how to build your network. Gain line credibility with your service. Lines develop new friendships. You can show your leadership with lines, and finally, you will receive global support from LCI. Now go to step 5. Step 5 will be recruiting charter members. If you don't have new members, you can't start a new club. You will need a minimum of 20 new members. You may use a recruitment wheel is a great tool. 1, reach out to community leaders. Draft your relatives. Ask your friends. Certainly ask your neighbors. Get to know local professionals. people you do business with, you have a heart for service. Ask all of your colleagues, people you do business with. How will we recruit? There's 5 steps. Canvassing. Hit as many businesses as possible. Dress appropriately for the community and your audience. No lines vests are needed. Limited recruiting. Zero in on targets previously identified. Start at the top. Start at the top. Talk to managers and supervisors at businesses. Group conversations. Talk to as many groups as possible. Don't wait longer than 10 minutes depending on circumstances. Your goal is to contact as many people as possible. Group recruiting. These are captive audiences. Don't carry too much literature, but have plenty of applications. Pre-select a couple of brochures that you think will be appealing. Branch development. If circumstances are adverse to recruiting 20 or more members, you might shoot for a branch club. Always ask. In the step 5, recruiting charter members, you may break it down to 5 categories or 5 groups. A charter member. People who has completed an application and paid the charter fees. Group 2, maybe the high interest prospects. These are folks who said they may come to a club meeting but did not complete an application. Group 3, other prospects. People who may be interested but could not attend a club meeting. Group 4, possible prospects. List names of people who may be interested. Group 5, not interested. These are contacts who express no interest joining at the time, but later keep these folks on the mailing list for future projects and events of your new club. Now, for important, send a follow-up email to everyone with the date, time, location of your informational meeting within 24 hours. Step 6. This is the informational meeting. Here's your opportunity to sell the contacts and become in line. Prepare for meeting. You would need to decide how many lines to have participate. Have a welcoming committee. Set up your meeting space appropriately. Prepare name tags for attendees. Conduct the meeting. Plan to introduce attendees in lines. Present an overview of lines. Discuss the benefits of lineism. Inform attendees of the cost. Give them the next meeting info. A post-meeting follow-up. Send thank you notes to new members. Send a follow-up message to all those who didn't join. Send everyone information about the next scheduled meeting. All of the above equals a strong charter club. An easy way to conduct an informational meeting is to use an informational meeting PowerPoint, which can be found at lionsclub.org/start a new club. On this site, there's many resources that will help you charter a new club. Thank you, Live Ron.
Robert, thank you very much for doing such a great job. Ron has himself muted, and he's going to unmute and be ready to go. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Robert, I know you mentioned several times about the communicating with all the potential charter members, and that is very key to making this work. And if they miss a meeting, just send them a summary of what happened during that informational meeting and keep them in the loop. So we've got our 20 members signed up to be charter members. And so we're getting close to the 20, but after the informational meeting, we have what we call an organizational meeting, and District Governor Pete's going to talk to us about that.
Thank you, Past Council Chair Ron. We now transition from informational to organizational. So this is where we take the ingredients of the recipe that we've been working with and put it all together, do a little shake and bake, and organize a club. Our club is going to start taking on personality here, and we'll use the members of the club so that their expressions come through. You have to have several things at your organizational meeting. You want, number one, have your 20 members. That's important. You have to have 20 members to start the process of a new club. Also, at the organizational meeting, you want to vote on the officers, and you're going to need 4 different officers for to submit the application. Number one, you're going to need a president. You got to have a leader of the group. You need a secretary, somebody. Well, secretary knows what's happening and takes the notes and minutes at the meetings. Also a treasurer, you have to handle the funds of the club. And then you need a membership chairman. You also got to have somebody that continues the efforts of recruiting. And then once you get all these voted on, then you decide on your service projects. And service projects are our 5 general areas of concentration, being hunger, childhood cancer, sight, diabetes, and environment. And you need them to pick out one particular area that they want to concentrate on. This doesn't mean that's all they do, but this is just an area of concentration. And these people that are members of the new club, they know what they want to concentrate on in their area. You don't want to steer them in a direction. Let them determine what's happening in their area and which area they want to go in. If they want to keep it simple and sweet, that's nice. It gives them a good area to concentrate on and makes things a little easier. Also, another thing you want to do is continue to recruit. And from the day you get charter approval, you have 90 days to get charter members. After that, the new members can no longer be charter members. So it's important to have charter members. There'll be a nice new plaque with charter member names, and you want to get as many people in on that as you can. If you don't invite somebody to join the club, you're making a decision for them. And let's don't do that. We need to let the person that we're inviting make that decision. So we want as many people invited to the charter club as we can get. Also, you want to make sure that these people, are all together. Make sure they have their thinking alike. If there's any, personalities that come up, and I'm sure they will, being in the members of the club, president, secretary, treasurer, are the leading officers of the club, and let them handle any kind of conflicts or any kind of personalities that come about. So let's go on to the charter application, which is step number 8. The charter application, you have a couple of documents that are required. And you want to make sure you get all these together before you go to the website to input all the information. And to submit all the information, you go to My LCI. You hit under My District, and then add a club. And then there's also, I'll say new club and then add a club. So you can check on status of clubs and also add a club, and that's what we're wanting to do here. And you'll need a couple things to do that. Number one is the completed application. You also need names of the 20 club members, minimum of 20 club members, and then confirmation of charter fees. Now, right now, there's currently a waiver on the charter fees between July the 1st and December 31st. So that saves $35 per applicant or per new member that we won't have to pay. So a couple things you'll need to input on there to make this charter application complete, and everything is done online. Number one, need the club name, and number 2, you'll need the club type. This is broken down between university and campus clubs, Lions clubs, a Lionesses club, and a Leo Lions club. So those are the 4 types that you'll be able to choose from, and you'll want to make a decision on one of those. Also, you'll need the city of location. And, and then an estimate of the number of members. Another thing you're going to need, there's a box there you have to check. It says, I have read the new club criteria, and you have to check that box. And this new club criteria is a 19-page document, and I think it'd be good for you to print this out and read it, or read it online. It's got everything you need to know about forming a new charter club. It includes everything from documentation, boundaries, charter members, processing fees, dues, awards, and even constitutional areas. So a lot of good information in there that you need to know about chartering a club. Second, you want to, after you check that box and everything's filled out, this will be turned over to my LCI. There's 6 different stages of charter application approval. Number 1 is the pending submission. And then after that, it goes to pending DG authorization, which is the district governor authorization. And then pending LCI authorization. Then pending completion. And then pending approval. And finally, the one you're looking for is approval. So after you get the approval, we'll go on to step number 9, which is charter approval. And charter approval, there's a lot of things start happening now. This is when all our hard work comes together and we get to celebrate and let everybody know we've got a brand new club. Now, the first thing you want to do is print out this charter night planning guide. This is a 10-page document that has everything you need to know about charter night. And charter night is our big celebration. We have guest speakers in town. We install the new officers, the charter officers, and it's very important to you make this a big event and make a lot of show out of it. You even want publicity. If you can get media there to help, that's always good. The newspaper, television, also Facebook and social media are also welcome and a good way to get this out. But the Charter Night Planning Guide will have everything you need on there, how to plan this event, and I'll tell you what to do. It'll give you a checklist of all the different committees you need to make this work, such as the Executive Committee, the Finance Committee, the Invitation and Entertainment Committee, the Program Committee, the Public Relations Committee, and the Charter Presentation Committee. So lots of things are going into this that you don't normally think about. There's even head table seating, proper head table seating that you'll want to get, and you can pick this up from the Charter Night Planning Guide. Also, there's introduction etiquette, and then there's even sample acceptance speeches that you can get in there. So make sure you print this out and look at it. There's a few other things that you'll also want to get out of this. There are time-sensitive documents that need to be submitted. There's one that goes to the IRS that you need to get within 60 days of having your charter approved. And if you don't get that on time, there could be a fine involved. So make sure you either seek information from this guide, or you ask somebody around you, somebody that's done this before. But the charter approval and the processing of the documents is also very important. All right, let's move on to step number 10. This is our final transition of power here. We always stress, your club, your way. Well, that's not necessarily so right at first, because we have a lot of assistance that we give them. And when you're bringing a new group into our group, we want to make sure they do things the Lions Club way and give them enough assistance and help to let them know that this is how we do things. And we have that available to 2 different sources here. Number 1 is the sponsoring club assistant. The assistance from sponsoring club should be a club that's very close to, geographically close to this new club. Because we're going to have officers coming from the sponsoring club to help with meetings and to help with duties and stuff. It's kind of a mentoring program. So your presidents help presidents, secretaries help secretaries. And so we use experience from a sponsoring club to kind of help these guys along the way and make sure they do things right in a timely manner. Also, you have the support of guiding lions. Our guiding lions stay with a group for 2 years. So the person that is a guiding lion, you also want that to be as close as possible, because you don't want somebody coming from 2 or 3 hours away or driving from long distance, because the guiding lion is going to be at every meeting for 2 years. It's also best if you can get 2 guiding lions to kind of help split the duty. So it's a demanding position, but gives lots of support to the charter club. So the transition of power takes place slowly, and we want to make sure that they've got plenty of help in the transition of power. So they do things like other clubs do, but we also want to stress your club your way. So, and that's about ties up number 10. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Governor Pete. These steps may seem daunting at first, but as you get into the process, they just kind of flow into one another. And I assure you that once you have been involved in starting a new club, it is so fulfilling that it is contagious, and you want to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And there are so many new publications that were either established or they were rewritten because of our participation with the NAMI pilot project. There is an excellent publication called New Club Development Guide. And anyone that is going to be involved in forming this new club, I recommend that they read that. It answers so many questions all the way through all 10 steps of the program. And all of these resources can be found at lionsclubs.org/NAMI. And then you'll scroll down and there's a blue box where you can click on resources. The amount of new resources that have been produced in the last 18 months has been absolutely phenomenal. Lions Club International staff has worked and done an excellent job of providing resources for us to use in the field. Now, Lion Robert, I understand that you can just call and get a new club consultant to come in and start the club for you. Is that right?
Thank you, Lion Robert. Yes, you get in touch with LCI. They have a site that you can email them and talk to them about the getting your line consultant come in. I have been online with one from Constitution Area 1 and one from Constitution Area 2. And we did some training and they did a really good job. They are very energetic go-getters, and they would be really great resource for you.
And it kind of takes the fear out of doing it when they work right beside you and they teach you how to do it, and then they kind of turn you loose on your own. We're running close on time, so real quickly we're going to have Lion Pete talk about some tools that'll help us and using social media.
Yeah, one thing we are using quite a bit is Facebook page. Facebook is an excellent source. Social media, a couple of other things, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We can use all those to kind of help get it out there, help get us some publicity. And this is free. We need to take advantage of this free stuff. But as you're starting a new club, you can put little, start a Facebook page and of the club area's name and send it out there and let people know that we are trying to start a new club in the area, and put up something different every day on there. Just change it up and see what kind of interest you can generate from the Facebook page out there. You can also have it so that we have constant contact available, and you can use that to send out to other Lions and let them know that we've got a club starting in this place, and if you know anybody in the area or that needs to be a member of this Lions Club, have them get in touch with me or let us get in touch with them, send us their contact information. It also produces a landing page. So if you go to Facebook and show a little interest, and you can be transported to a landing page so that we can get your contact information. But again, this is free advertisement, free things to help get the word out. We don't have to pay for advertisement like we used to. But also you can, if you want to pay a little bit. Facebook is a good bang for the buck. You could go in there and pay just a little bit, and triple, sometimes quadruple the audience that you're touching now without paying. So Facebook and Constant Contact are very good pages for us.
And these are things that we're using more and more. I hate the reason why that we have been pushed to advance in our use of technology, but I'm so thankful that we have. It's really helped us grow by using the social media resources. And once again, here is the website where you can look at all these resources. and they are just so numerous, and they are great publications. We did have the privilege of helping to rewrite some of these programs about membership as we were participating in the pilot program, and there were 9 pilot districts, and everyone contributed to that, and we've really improved some things because of that program. And here's just more. The list continues and continues on what you can get from Lions International. They are even setting up a web page, and not ready to release it yet, but they're setting up a separate web page for each different type of club that we can charter. To go through the whole 10-step process, if you want to go to lionsclubs.org/virtual and look at the virtual programs that they had in June, Past International Director Jerome facilitated 4 webinars on Monday evenings with the international vice presidents, and they break all of these 10 steps down, 3 per week, plus an overview of our international vice presidents, and that will really help you. You'll get 4 hours of training on what we've tried to cover in one. But what we're trying to do is just make you aware of all the tools that are out there, and they're being added every day. Also, go to YouTube to New Clubs 101, and it's a little over an hour, but it goes into great detail and some things that I believe that will help you. Lion Jerome, have we had any questions type in that we can try to answer for the folks?
We do, and the first one is that when you mentioned the link, was it city data? That was mentioned very quickly. Can you slow down and give that to us once again? We've had several folks ask for that website and where that they can access that.
And definitely, we want to make sure they can get to that because it is so valuable. It is it's www.city-data.com.
www.city-data.com.
Yes, that's it.
I'm going to type it in the box for everyone to be able to see and copy as well. So we've got that.
It tells you so much information that will give you some ideas and leads, not only on service projects for the community, but who the movers and shakers are, and it's just a great tool to head you in the right direction in that particular community.
And then we had one question while our District Governor Pete was speaking, and that is, what role, if any, does the sponsoring club play in the organizational meeting?
I'll be glad to take that.
Okay, go ahead, Governor Pete.
The organizational meeting is, to identify some officers and leaders in the group, and if we had a sponsoring club there, we can have some help there with explaining the different duties of the different, leadership roles, like the president, secretary, treasurer, and the membership chairman. So if we have those members from the sponsoring club there, that would be great to help explain things and just to go over and help identify potential leaders and to make sure that the ones that we're getting are proper for the position that they're being selected to.
Thank you very much. And going back to District Governor Pete and then others that may want to help him, there was a question about, you had mentioned something about an IRS form being in that box that come from Lions International, and that triggered quite a few questions because our Lions wasn't familiar with that concept. Can you clarify that just a little?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I don't know the exact form that's required. I can find that out and get that to you, but there is a form that's required, for startup clubs that you need to file with IRS. And like I said, I don't remember the number right now, but it is required to be filed. I think it's within 60 days of the charter approval. So you need to get that in, and we can get that and make it more available to you.
That form is included in the box with the charter application when Lions International sends that out. That form is also in there, and it's very simple to process. It's a requirement the IRS only has had for like 2 years, and it's the intent to serve as a 501c4 organization. And the club puts their EIN number on there. They send it to Lions Clubs International Legal Department, and legal department handles everything from there on. It's just putting the club's EIN on it and getting it to the legal department.
Lion Ron, I think that's IRS form 8976, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, great. Well,
Lion,
it looks like we're.
Lion Ron, let me have one last comment. I know that we're right at the hour, but our council chair has sent a message that he would like to have a closing comment before that we go to break. And you know, next hour is exciting because we're going to talk about bringing members into existing clubs. This has been great, but everyone here is going to be able to invite members to their clubs. Council Chair Bingham, if you would, closing comments and questions.
And I'll be brief. Thank you, Jerome. You know, we're in trying times right now with the pandemic that we're all faced with. I just want to encourage our district governors and any line that's listening that might participate in organizing a new club. Don't let the COVID-19 pandemic impede us. Where there's a need, there's a line. There's always a way to get around these obstacles that we face with the pandemic. We sanitize, we wear masks, we communicate through social media. There are many opportunities, so don't let these stumbling block that's been put before us right now impede our progress. We will move forward this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Bubba Bingham, Council Chair. And throughout the United States already, in the first month, there was 20 charter applications turned into Lions Clubs International. So there are Lions out there who are regularly and routinely chartering clubs. And so, Lion Ron, other comments as we wrap up?
I'd just like to thank everyone for attending this morning on this session. It tickles us to death that we've had so many sign on and try out this first virtual experience. I'd like to thank our panelists, District Governor Robert and District Governor Pete, for all their sharing their knowledge and their input. And of course, thank you to you, Lion Jerome, for running things in the background and keeping us running.